Welcome to today's video. My name is Gabby, and today I thought it would be fun to kind of do a little weekend vlog. This is the first weekend in some time that I have had both days off. I have a little bit planned, but I definitely want to get some relaxing in because I have had a very stressful week. It is currently 7:30 on Friday. I left work about 2 hours ago. I took a nice, long, relaxing shower and I washed my hair, hence why it looks kind of crazy. I thought we could just start by having like a really relaxing night and get some reading done. And then you can kind of follow me through the weekend and see what we end up doing. A lot of my holds on Libby became available this weekend, so much so that I had to extend some holds. I was like, honestly, I know I'm not going to get to that book this month. Let's just push it off. One of the books that I will be reading and hopefully finishing is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. I started this about a week ago and I am roughly 75% through. I have been eating it up so far. It's been so good. I've been absolutely loving it. The writing is impeccable. The whole vibe, the atmosphere, the storytelling, I'm loving it. I definitely have an idea of other books that I want to get to this month, so we'll see what we end up picking up. Here is what is left of my monthly TBR. I have Binding 13 already is on my Kindle. I actually bought it before it came out on Kindle Unlimited. I have If We Were Villains, that just updated today, so I'm on my second hold for that. We have You Again. I don't believe I have this on Kindle yet, but I feel like that could be a really nice little weekend read. And then we have Throne of Glass, which I also have available on my Kindle right now. I'm so excited for that reread, so that could also be a really fun book if I'm feeling fantasy. I just borrowed a book from my sister too. It's called The Crescent Moon Tea Room. She loved this. She said it was, I believe, kind of a cozy romance about some sisters who are witches, and that sounds right up my alley. I think that sounds so fun and also could be a really cozy weekend read. And then we have The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I'm reading this with some friends this month to kind of do a little book club. I've been dying to pick it up, and this also just became available on my Libby holds. For now though, we're definitely going to finish up Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. I'm gonna get cozy. I have a candle lit. We have like the ambiance going and just kind of cuddle up in bed. I have some clean sheets on. I think it can be a really nice time and just hopefully finish this up tonight. So let's get into it. I'm excited for you to follow along. Tomorrow we have kind of a free day, so we'll see what ends up happening. Sometimes my boyfriend likes to take me to the bookstore. We'll see for sure, but let's get into it. So we just got back from our little Saturday morning outing. First, we went and grabbed coffee, and then we went to the range because we do have a tea time tomorrow. So just getting some practice in. And then we went to Home Depot. Today we're taking these 3 shelves down. We're gonna replace them with some much bigger black shelves to match this bookcase here. And then it's 3 shelves that are gonna go all the way across so that I can have a lot of room for my books. I currently have all of my finished books that I want to keep in this little box here. So I definitely need some more room. And then we're going to move these shelves probably to this wall and split them up a little bit. So we just left Home Depot for the second time because we put one of the shelves up and it honestly was just like falling off the wall. And I even had my dad come in and like mount it and everything. And as soon as the actual shelving piece went on, it was just, we put a book on there and it looked like it was hanging right off the wall. It was not looking good. So I'm very frustrated and annoyed, but I did get a full refund, which was nice, at least. So it's not $100 wasted.
I'm so hungry.
I know you are. Oh, if you're getting Jersey Mike's, I want you.
God help me.
I ordered some new shelves on Amazon that are supposed to come tomorrow, and I do have kind of a busy day tomorrow, but lovely Jordan here is going to do it for me because he's the best. I did read the reviews for this one, and everyone said that they use them Like, I saw a lot of other book girlies posting in their reviews, which was very helpful. They were full of books, so hopefully that one will hold well. Now, Jordan is starving. He's been starving since we woke up this morning at 9 this morning. He's like being such a little baby because he has a headache. Literally, he was like, we're gonna get coffee and then we're gonna go to Dunkin' because I need something to eat. And then we just didn't go to Dunkin'. So it's been like 5 hours. We're gonna go feed him. Don't worry. For none of the hard work he did, because he did nothing. It was all my dad doing it. You just stood there and we're like,
to be
I have the hiccups.
To be fair, you're like, Dad, kind of help me. And
yeah,
you're like, you don't have to do anything. Then he just started doing it.
I know, he just started doing it. That's
so
what I was gonna say.
Like,
he's such a dad.
It's not like I just said, no, you do it.
No, I know. He literally, I was like, you don't have to do anything. Like, just answer my question.
Yeah,
this one question I had. And then he's like, so you do this and this, and he just starts doing it all himself.
Yeah, exactly.
So whatever.
It's not like anything.
Looking like we're probably gonna get Jersey Mike's from the looks of it. Am I right in saying that?
I thought I was getting Jersey Mike's, but I guess we can. You said you weren't hungry.
Yeah, but if you're getting Jersey Mike's, I'll get Jersey Mike's. Okay, we'll check in later because we have some more things to do today.
See you later.
I'm quite annoyed about this bookshelf situation here. Hopefully tomorrow we can get it fixed. Anyways, last night I finished Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. I think I'm going to give this one a 5-star. I'm actually going to read off the blurb because I'm scared of giving any spoilers, honestly. It says, this is a story about hunger. 1532, Santo Domingo de la Calzada. A young girl grows up wild and wily. Her beauty is only outmatched by her dreams of escape. But Maria knows she can only ever be a prize or a pawn in the games played by men. When an alluring stranger offers an alternate path, Maria makes a desperate choice. She vows to have no regrets. This is a story about love. 1827, London. A young woman lives in an idyllic but cloistered life on her family's estate until a moment of forbidden intimacy sees her shipped off to London. Charlotte's tender heart and seemingly impossible wishes are swept away by an invitation from a beautiful widow, but the price of freedom is higher than she could have imagined. This is a story about rage. 2019, Boston. College was supposed to be her chance to be someone new. That's why Alice moved halfway across the world, leaving her old life behind. But after an out-of-character one-night stand leaves her questioning her past, her present, and her future, Alice throws herself into the hunt for answers and revenge. This is a story about life, how it ends and how it starts. So essentially through this story, we are following 3 lesbian vampires. We start with Maria and we see how she grows and how she ends up becoming a vampire. And then very early on, we also get Alice's point of view and we see she's already becoming a vampire but hasn't really figured it out yet. And then some ways through, we get Charlotte's point of view. This story to me was literally addicting. It was addicting. I was enjoying myself the whole way through. I feel like even though it's over 500 pages, every single sentence felt very intentional and served a purpose. The ending to this was absolutely insane. It was just insane. I loved it so much. I liked how this was similar to The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue in the sense that we saw someone go through 200 years ago as well as how they're acting in current day. We see them go through many different eras together. Felt like you were there. I think I liked Alice's character the best because I loved seeing her growth throughout the book. I think she had the best growth, but Maria was so volatile that I also loved her character. Like, she was the worst, but she was the best in the way that she was so entertaining and you see where she comes from and you know she's kind of always been this way. And I love the aspects where they're just hating on men. The vibes were so good, perfect for fall. I would totally recommend picking this up. It was generally an easier to read fantasy. Like, it's not very intense in the way that it's kind of a fantasy. So much of the writing is so poetic and beautiful. I think I mentioned this earlier, but I've started my next read, which is Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. I am just about 100 pages into this. I'm actually really enjoying it so far, and I'm kind of surprised that I'm enjoying it. Honestly, not to sound mean, but the writing is really bad and at a lot of points is really cringe. While I was reading last night, I was like, I had read something like 30 pages. Oopsie. While I was reading last night, I had read something like 30 pages, and I was like, did anything I just read add to the story at all? No. The answer is no. We're basically following Johnny, who is a rugby star. He is supposed to be the like next big thing in rugby as I understand it. And we are also following Shannon, who has been severely bullied all of her life in her public school. She transfers to Tommen College, which is where Johnny is located, and they have a run-in on her first day of school. They kind of become obsessed with each other. And again, I do want to say that I am liking it so far. I don't know why I'm liking it, because I feel like normally I wouldn't really like it. Like, this isn't something that would be really up my street in terms of a romance. And then it's like he's going on and on about the rugby academy that he plays for. Every other sentence, the academy, the academy, the academy, the academy. Okay, we get it. You're great at rugby. Like, we understand. You are the best. That's fine. And it's not that he's necessarily arrogant about it. It's more just so that it gets brought up so much. And in some aspects, he is arrogant, I think. But he's not, I don't really think he's being obnoxious about it. I just think the amount of times that it's brought up is getting a little much. But I'm still reading it. I mean, I'm 100 pages in, and I don't plan to stop. So I don't really know. I don't really know. I guess we'll see. A lot of people say that this series does a lot of emotional damage. And I think, honestly, just the timing of me picking this up is really good, because I've been reading a lot of intense fantasy lately. I haven't really read any kind of trashy romance, to be honest. So I think this is really hitting the spot. It's 8:30 p.m. I did accidentally take a nap for 3 hours because I'm just a dummy. So I think I'm going to refill my water bottle. I'm going to light a little candle. We're going to set the vibes, and we're going to get cozy and do some reading. So we had a very busy day today. My older cousin had a baby shower, which is so exciting. She's having a baby girl. It was loads of fun. And then Jordan and I went golfing today. It was not as fun. I'm not very good at golf. We grabbed some Starbucks afterwards. And then my new Amazon shelves came in today. So I thought it would be fun to kind of set those up together. I have a lot of like trinkets all over the place that I usually keep on my bookshelf. Since I've reorganized it, I don't really have as much room for that. And I have a lot of my already read books on the ground in a box. So I'm thinking in terms of organization, since we have these 3 beautiful shelves, we could do kind of like my collections up here, books that I have multiple of. On this one, we'll probably do romance, and then this one will probably do fantasy. So for example, some books that I have multiple copies of would be ACOTAR. I don't have multiple copies of every book, but I do have all of the paperbacks that I did annotate, and then I do have some of the hardbacks. I also have a stack that I'm going to get rid of. First, I'm going to try to kind of semi-organize everything onto my bed into groups. Okay, so starting with my first shelf, I think what I'm going to put up there first is Harry Potter. And I actually don't have all of the Harry Potter books physically. I used to, but some of them, I was scared that they were a little bit moldy. I couldn't tell. So I was like, I'd rather not have them next to my other books. These ones we can place right back here. There we go. Wow, those are really far back. I didn't realize those shelves went so far back. And then we also have some of the hardcovers for Harry Potter. So I think we should do it like a hardcover and then the matching paperback. And then we can do the other hardcover and the other matching paperback. Yeah, I think I like the way that that looks. Now with ACOTAR, I don't know if I kind of want to do the same thing because I don't have all of the ACOTAR in hardcover. I thought I had Frost and Starlight in hardcover as well. I'm not seeing it anywhere, so I don't know. Let's just put these hardcovers up there for now. Then we can put the paperbacks, and I guess I could have sworn I had Frost and Starlight in hardcover. I'm having a feeling that a lot of my books are missing. I did just donate a lot of my books, but I'm like kind of confused because I thought, I don't know. Let's just move on, I guess. Next, we're going to put up all of my ACOTAR paperbacks. I love those. I think that those spines, the way that they're so colorful, are so pretty to me. And then we can do Once Upon a Broken Heart. I think similarly, we'll put the hardbacks first. I don't think I have all of the paperbacks. I see these two here. I know I definitely have Ballad of Never After somewhere. These are actually my favorite. Obviously, Once Upon a Broken Heart is one of my favorite series. It is just the best to me. And then I also, when I was in Paris in 2023, I got this cover. I thought it was so pretty. And I actually have it stamped on the inside from Shakespeare & Co., which I think is so cool. I think those ones would be really pretty if I can get the rest of the paperbacks that match the spines are gonna look really good. I know I have the second one somewhere. I do have this copy of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone with the sprayed edges. These are the newer releases as well. We can just sneak that in there. Oops. They're really not the same height at all. That's really gonna bother me. Recently, I have been very selective with the books that I do want to save and want to display in my bedroom. I think a good series to have on display on my romance shelf would be Rebel Blue Ranch series. I ate these right up, and I think that these have the most gorgeous covers, so I love having them. And then over on this end, I think we're gonna do Emily Henry. Now, this is very frustrating to me because I have these two in hardback and this one in paperback. I don't even remember this coming out in hardcover, to be honest. I bought this pretty close to when it first came out, and I don't remember it being in hardcover, but I don't know. And then next, I think we can put our Elsie Silver over with the other cowboy romances. I think that would be a cute spot. I do have 2 copies of Normal People by Sally Rooney. I devoured this book when it first came out. It was everything to me. So I actually got this one in Paris, I believe. So this is another one that I have stamped. Now that I'm looking over all of these, I'm like, are these the books that I really want to display on my shelf? You know what I mean? I found the paperback to The Ballad of Never After. Just right in there. Next, we have some of the most important books ever written. We obviously have The Hunger Games. I do need to get Mockingjay in this edition, I think. And then I'll probably keep these 2. And I feel like that honestly kind of finishes that shelf off just because I am going to get Mockingjay in that edition. I have this little bookmark, and then on the back it says, "May the odds be ever in your favor." So I'm totally gonna add that up there. Now moving on back to the romance, we have 2 Annabelle Monaghan books. I actually love the way these spines look. I have read all of her books, so I would love to get all of them in a physical copy to have on my shelf because I absolutely loved these. Let's add some to our fantasy shelf. First, I have my 2 V.E. Schwab books. Then we have Blood Over Brighthaven. I loved this book. I read this earlier this year. I thought it was so great. Then we have When the Moon Hatched. Next, we have One Dark Window. I'm so excited to read and hopefully acquire the second book in this duology. Next, we have the Cruel Prince trilogy. I also have this gorgeous special edition that my friend Lauren gifted me for my birthday. Next, we have Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This book holds a special place in my heart, and I cannot wait for the second book to come out next month. Then we have Six of Crows. These books are everything. Next, we have Ninth House. I love this edition. I think it's so pretty. Now, here's where things kind of get a little bit mixed up. I have these 4 romance books, just kind of miscellaneous. I also have these 2 series that I haven't finished, as well as some other miscellaneous romance that are all going to get placed at the end. Next, I have some miscellaneous thrillers and everything. I don't know where my copy of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is. I think my dad actually borrowed it. So for now, these books are going to go in this far corner. I have two Taylor Jenkins Reid books. I'm gonna kind of go in this general fiction area. Okay, I think for now I'm going to throw the rest of my Magnolia Park series up here, even though I haven't finished it yet. Okay, here is what we're looking like so far. At the top, we have like the books that I collect. So this is Harry Potter, we have ACOTAR, Once Upon a Broken Heart, and then The Hunger Games. Right here is going to be romance. So we have Emily Henry, we have Normal People, we have Jessa Hastings, Annabelle Monaghan, Elsie Silver, Rebel Blue Ranch, and then these two series I haven't finished yet. Miscellaneous romance, and then I decided to put these up here just to make room. You'll see why in a minute. And then since they're just kind of like general fiction, we have other general fiction over here. And then these are thrillers. And then here we have our fantasy shelf. So we have When the Moon Hatched. I'm so excited for the second book in this. We have V.E. Schwab. We have Blood Over Bright Haven, One Dark Window. All of these are Cruel Prince. We have Bride, Six of Crows. These are all Leigh Bardugo. And then I put this up here. I don't even know if I'm going to keep it, but it fits. So we have Caraval, which I figured is kind of mostly fantasy. And then we have our Throne of Glass collection because if you don't know, I've read up to, I believe, Queen of Shadows and halfway through Empire Storms. But I am starting my reread this month. It is on my monthly TBR. And then we have some other little miscellaneous fiction and Agatha Christie novels here. Now to decorate, which is going to be my personal favorite part because I have a lot of little trinkets and things. I have these 4 pins, which I think would look really cute on the romance shelf. So we have like a little Hello Kitty one. We have a Joker and Harley Quinn. And then I have 2 Spider-Man ones. And then I also have this mug that my friend Ari got me that says Hot Girl Book Club, which I think would look so cute right in the middle. Next we have a Dumbledore Funko Pop, which is obviously going to go with the Harry Potter books. And we also have this cute little mouse jelly cat that my parents got me because they call me Mouse. I think this is going to go on the fantasy shelf just because I'm scared of having it too close to the lights.